Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. This is a Ready to Love season 4 episode 4 review, you guys, and I'm just gonna say that it's really taking a while for this season to like jump off for me. Okay, I don't know if it's because like last year they was in the actual resort, so like it was a lot going on because they was always together, like they could see everything, every interaction, everything. So I don't know if that's what I'm missing from this season, because remind y'all, last season was my first actual season watching. So this season is really different for me and it's picking up really slow for me. So I'm hoping that it really gets juicy soon. Okay? With all that being said, we're still going to go through this review scene by scene. I'm going to break it down for y'all. Let's get into this review. So all the ladies meet up with Tommy in the ladies' lounge, okay? He says we may be drinking wine, but I definitely want all the tea, okay? So he tells them, like, this week, as you know, one of these guys got to go home. So it's up to you to dig deep, get the dirt, okay, go in their houses, go through their phones. Like, now, he ain't say go through their phones, but you know, he was saying get to know these people, okay? Investigate a little bit. Test to talk about some. If you got the herpes cream, I'm going to find out. I said, Lord, I hope they did STD test, because we know last season they ain't do no daggone pregnancy test, so we don't really know what's going on with these people, okay? But anyway, after they dig deep and have these dates, they gonna come back, they gonna decide who going home, and that's just gonna be that on that. So the first day we get to see is between Vernisha and Joel, right? So Vernisha, let me tell y'all, Vernisha is serving all body, yada 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 yada, hey, body yada 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 yada. No, like seriously, she got body, okay? And Joel hugged her and he was like, how that baby felt. She felt nice and warm. I was like, okay, with that, New Orleans accent or whatever. But their date was really, really, really nice, okay? They both been waiting for this day because they initially hit it off in the beginning. So they really wanted to get to know each other on a deeper level. And she talks about how she loves how he, lights up when he talks about his children. He talks about his past relationships. It's just a lot of things that they were really getting into. And you can tell, like, they were really, really hitting it off, okay? Vernisha says that she can see them blending their families very, very easy. Like, and she's like a little taken off guard by it, because it's like, dang, this is too good to be true. I feel like they actually on the same level. They grown. They've been through a lot. They came through a lot. And now they like seem like they can mesh well together. I like them too. Joel and Vernisha, definitely I can see happening. I definitely could see that relationship happening. And you better watch out, Vernisha, because a lot of the women are checking for Joel. Trust me, they checking for him. Okay? But anyway, so Alex says that she's going on a date with Troy, okay? She ain't really happy about this date with Troy because she found out that Troy out there telling everybody that he taking them on trips like he told her, okay? And what you not going to do to Alexis, okay? What you not going to do is box me in a box with everybody else, okay? You not going to play games with me. I was like, oh my God, Alexis, she's so dramatic, okay? But I ain't mad at her, because what you not going to do is play games with me. Y'all, I'm still trying to get over this cold. It's ridiculous. Bear with me. So when she sits down, she's like, sitting down, and the first thing he's like, oh my God, Alexis is looking so beautiful. Like, men, we physical. We looking at the physical. And I'm like, I get it. We looking for the physical, but it's time to get deeper, okay? If you stop kissing everybody on the cheeks, Troy, and if you stop only looking at the physical, then maybe you can get to know these women and build connections. But instead, you want to be a creep. Okay, that's what you want to do. But anyway, she sits down and he's just like, yo, I've been really waiting for us to have this time. And she's like, oh, really? Oh, really? Because I heard that you was telling everybody that they your number one. And you be kissing everybody on the cheek. And he's like, who? I don't do that. So then we get the whole playback where he actually said that that's his thing. That's his move. Kissing the girls on the cheek, okay? But you don't do that? He really sat there and lied to that girl in her face like he don't know what she talking about. Basically, that's what he was saying. I said, this man is crazy, okay? He's a liar and a creep. That's what he is, ultimately. But anyway, while they sitting there and they talking or whatever the case may be, she's just like, so who is your number one? I need to know who is your number one. And you know what, y'all? they go to commercial. Did we ever find out who Troy number one was? No, we didn't. No, we didn't. I would have liked to know what he said. I felt like they should have let us know what he said. But y'all know how Ready to Love do, okay? We're going to have to wait to the reunion to get down to the bottom of that question. Anyway, so the next day is between Amber and Chris. KG smooth. Okay, so Amber and Chris going on their little date, and they going to the, like, the, I guess, workout, but in a boxing ring, and she's like boxing him. And I mean, Amber got the hands, y'all. Don't mess with Amber. Amber, don't try to get in a fight with Amber, because she got hands, okay? And it looked like she not scared to lay it down, okay? Because she was giving it to KG. He was like, I think she was about to, like, hit me and knock me out at one point. I was like, wouldn't that have been funny? Because you had imagined, had she just been playing, boxing, and just do that whoop, right to the face, and he fell out, y'all, I'd have died. I definitely would have died, but that ain't happened. That didn't happen. So he's really feeling her. She's feeling him. Remind y'all, they on the same page when it comes to finances, okay? They've been really meshing really well. So when they sit down and they're talking, we found out that Amber is adopted, okay? And she's just recently started connecting with her siblings, her biological siblings, and KG's father got 11 kids by 9 women. I said, ooh, he was a busy man, honey. He was a busy man. And he's just now, and I think he's like 50, starting to really get to know all his siblings. And I'm like, oh, they did a bad job at getting y'all together. I could imagine the baby mama drama his father was going through, okay? And why they probably haven't met each other. So yeah, they kind of got a little similar history to a certain extent, as far as, like, you know, just now getting to meet their siblings. They agree on finances. So for them, they're a vibe, okay? I can dig it, okay? We find out that she's actually a DA. Not only she's an attorney, she's a DA. I said, you better work, sister, work. I was here for it, okay? Now, my thing is, KG, you know, Mr. I like to fill in whatever you need, where you need me to fill in at. I don't like the vibe that I get that he wants someone to take care of him. I could be wrong. I'm not saying that he not going to want to, you know, do anything. But I get the vibe that he looking for someone who makes a little bit more money so he could fill in. But that's just me. And that's just him and his business. And I ain't trying to mind it, okay? So let me mind my business and keep on moving to the next date. So Stacey and David go on a date, y'all, and Stacey is making like little old man jokes or whatever. They seem to have been hitting it off. They doing Pilates or whatever the case may be. He's attracted to the fact that she takes care of her physical body, and you know, because that's important to him. Now, my thing is, when they sit down, they start having a conversation about trust, okay? And David brings up the fact that he wants to know the passwords to the phones, the Instagrams, all that good stuff, right? And Stacey not with that. Stacey like, what? Like, no, that's privacy. That's privacy. Now, she feels as though he took the word privacy for secrecy. Now, he feels as though in a marriage, everything should be fair game, open. That's how I want my marriage to be. Like, there shouldn't be no, I don't know the password to your phone. I don't know the password to your Facebook. I don't know the password to all your, you know, information and stuff like that. He feels like in a marriage, all that needs to be laid out on the table. That's transparency. Now, and I was sitting there like, okay, so I can see both sides, right? But my thing is, you both have two different ideas of what trust looks like. So I'm going to need y'all not to even pursue this relationship whatsoever. Because obviously, David is one of those men who wants to know everything completely. And I can't knock him for that. And I don't see anything wrong with that. You just have to find you someone who's open to that, okay? Now, the way Stacey make it seem is like he's out there like, you better give me all of it. He never once said you have to give me all of it, but he did say that he liked that transparency in a relationship. But I do think there are certain passwords that you should have, okay? We should have passwords to the bank statements. We should have had passwords to the phone. We should have passwords to certain stuff. Maybe not so much your Facebook and your Instagram. Who cares about that stuff? But God forbid something happened to you. I need to get into your phone. I need to get into the bank account. I need to get into some information concerning you. I need to be able to do that. So in a marriage, yeah, certain passwords we should have. And that's just that on that, okay? Now, so Liz, AJ, Jason and Alexis go on a double date. Now, Liz and AJ are, on a team. Alexis and Jason are on a team, and they playing like, when you toss the little bean bags into the little holes or whatever the case may be. And, Alexis like, well, I got my son's basketball coach over here, so I know we gonna win. And y'all, they did not win, okay? How you the basketball coach, Jason, and you can't get the bean bag in the hole? You supposed to be the one to teach the kids how to shoot the ball into the hole, but you can't get the bang bag into the hole on the floor. Make it make sense for me, Jason? Make it make sense for me. I'm just joking, y'all. But it's still funny that they lost, okay? And she was all amped up about them winning. But anyway, when they go sit down, they have these private conversations. Now, I'm just going to take a fashion break for a second because I need someone to explain to me what in the world Alexis Fly had on, because honey, nothing about that outfit was fly, cute, or anything. I didn't like it. I mean, if you liked it, good for you. Good for you. Personally, it's a no. It's a no for me. Okay? Okay. Now, when Jason and Alexis sit down, Jason says that he's finding it kind of hard to separate the parent from potential significant other. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but remember in the first review, I told y'all that he's not feeling her, okay? I said this because if he was feeling her, he would have checked for her when he first met her at her son's basketball game, and he didn't. So therefore, he wasn't checking for her to begin with, okay? So he's trying to separate the two. You can tell he's not feeling her. He's all the way over here on the other side of the couch. She starts talking about how she is on her monthly. And I'm like, this is not the conversation we need to be having right now in this moment. Like, no, Alexis. It's a dud for me. Like, the whole little private conversation that they had was a dud. It was done. It was over. Like, it was unnecessary. The conversation was just unnecessary, right? So now when we get over to AJ and Liz, Liz is basically asking AJ how he feel about having sex before marriage, okay? Now he says, before I answer this, are you, saving yourself for marriage? And she's like, well, I'm abstinent, okay? So she's basically, what I got from it was, she wasn't actually saying she was saving herself for marriage, but she's not one of those girls that's just going to be out there sleeping with anyone, and she's not going to be having sex with someone just because you're my boyfriend. She wants to, if she does have sex with someone, it needs to be, maybe her fiance, someone she's about to get married to, someone who she knows is going to be a forever situation. I don't know if she actually said I'm waiting till I get married, but she made it seem as though she's waiting for that one person who she knows she's going to spend the rest of her life with. So I don't think she's going to wait until she actually, the day after she get married. It might be once they get engaged or, whatever, process they go on where she feels like this is going to be her husband, that she might actually give up the draws, okay? Now, he's just saying he doesn't know. He respects it. He does think that, having sex before marriage is definitely important because you just can't teach sex, okay? Either you got it or you don't. And I was like, okay, cool. So obviously y'all on the wrong page. We don't need to go any further with this, AJ and Liz, okay? So Alexis, Jason, AJ, Liz, out the question. Stacey, David, out the question. So we could eliminate them. I don't see, like, they already have so many things that they don't agree on that we don't need to have any more further days to figure this out, because it's not going to be good if you do try to force these relationships. Just saying. Now, Cassandra and Ronald, y'all, they go on a date, and I mean, they really hitting it off, okay? They really on the same page. She want a protector, a provider. He says, I'm a protector and I'm a provider, okay? I was like, okay, on period. On period. We found out that, Ronald went to jail at 18, so he's lived through some stuff. He sees some stuff. He experienced some stuff, and he really, changed his life, and he on the right path, and I applaud him for doing that, because, it's easy for our black men to get caught up out here. So I was very happy to hear about him changing his life. And I think that's good for other men to hear that just because you make a mistake at a young age doesn't mean that your life got to go downhill. So go to school, get that degree, make that money, take care of your family and all that good stuff. So Cassandra and Ronald are really like hitting it off, okay? They really like have the same values and things like that. I'm sitting here like, okay. So far, Chris and Amber got the same values. Ronald, Cassandra have the same values. And Vernisha and David have the same values. Was it? No, not for David. Vernisha and Joel have the same values. So those three couples right now looking real good to me. But baby, when I tell you, okay, out of all these couples that went on these dates, nobody hit it off like Liz and freaking David, okay? When I say they did not come to play, they did not come to play, okay? They on the same page when it comes to, isn't Ronald the one who, isn't David the one who say he want to wait for marriage? Check, because so does Liz. Isn't she the one that got the spiritual connection? Check, and so does David. I was like, they literally was like everything on paper, perfect for each other. I was sitting there, when I say they was talking, they was really, I mean, they was digging deep, okay? He was talking about his ex-wife leaving and, you know, and how he, wants to, you know, make sure that the next person he with never leaves him again, okay? And they talking about the spirituality and they praying over the food. Honey, I felt like they was already in a relationship. So if I had to bet my money on it, if I had to bet my bottom dollar, okay, David and Liz is going to be a couple because they got it all together. Even when it comes down to the whole passwords in the phone, the open transparency, the secrecy and privacy, all of that, honey, it's a couple for me. It's a couple. Now, I am going to say this. We've seen a lot of Liz, okay? In this episode, I saw her in 2 days. We've seen Alexis. We saw her in 2 days. But we didn't see Kyra or Tessa. And I don't know who else we didn't see. But I know, like, they could have got some shine if we got to see double dates between, if we got to see... if we got to see Alexis twice and we got to see Liz twice, why we didn't get to at least see Tessa or Kyra. So I wonder what happened with that or if that's coming up for a later date, okay? But anyway, all the girls meet back up with Tommy and now it's time to, you know, have this conversation about who needs to go home, who we sending home, dusting shoulders off, because we not doing this with these men, okay? Somebody got to go. Who's not ready to love? So as we sit down and we talking about it, they talking about Joelle. Okay, and Vernisha is like, yes, okay, I like Joel. Okay, I like him. And all the women like, yeah, it's the accent for me. And I'm like, oh, y'all better watch out because, you know, Vernisha's feeling her some Joe, okay? Now, when Liz starts to talk about David, and you could see the look on freaking Stacy's face. Her face is looking like, So I'm thinking, like, you checking for David? You liking David? Because it didn't seem like you was liking David on y'all date. So why you making all those faces? So when we come to find out who was in the bottom, she wanted to throw David in the bottom. But she tried to drag old boy through the mud. Like, he want the passcodes to the Instagram. He want the passcodes to the Facebook. He want the passcodes to the bank accounts. And I was sitting here like, woo, child, the conversation wasn't even that serious for you to be landing on a table like that. Because all the women was like, what? Okay, what? And Liz was like, I'm not bothered by that. I said, I told y'all it's a couple, okay? David and Liz, it's a couple. All right, so we already know that all the women is definitely not feeling Troy, okay? Because Troy is out here telling everybody that they the one, okay? Troy out here kissing everybody with the corona kisses, okay? So we already know that Troy is on his way out the door, okay? So it comes down to David and Troy. Now, this is the thing that got me. When Stacey sat down with Troy sitting here, he didn't even know he's about to go home, y'all. Troy was really acting like he was like happy to see Stacey because he thought they was going on a date and he was really open to the opportunity to get to know her because he ain't really spend no time with her. I was like, jokes on you, buddy. Jokes on you. Ultimately, they send home David, okay? Now, David says, while she's telling him this, he's acting like he still doesn't know what everybody talking about, okay? But then he says in his confessional, you only got to tell me one time and I won't make that mistake again. I might make another mistake, but I'm not going to make that mistake. And now I know. I said, it's a lie. It's a lie. Only difference is now you're not going to be dating a whole bunch of women who are talking to each other and know each other. So now no one will be able to say, oh, he told me the same thing that he told you. David, you're not going to change. Troy, you're not going to change, so just let it go. just let it go. When Amber was talking to David, she basically was trying to tell him, like, you know, we need to get to know you, and we feel like you're bringing some of your past issues into these new relationships that you might need to let go. Now, I'm with David on this, because David said he is not changing what his idea of marriage looked like, and I was like, you better not, because if that's what marriage looks like to make you happy, then you need to stand by that. And if all the women in that house don't agree with your idea of marriage, then ain't none of them women for you. But luckily, David, like I told y'all, it's a couple, because Liz is on the same exact page as David, y'all. It's a couple. It's a couple. But either way, that was the episode for Ready to Love, okay? Short, sweet, to the point. We got it done, okay? Now, like I told y'all, I need this to, like, you know, get somewhere really fast, because it's not as entertaining as I would like for it to be. So I need something to happen, and happen quick, okay? Okay, with all that being said, thank you guys for, you know, watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment down below, subscribe. Tell me who's your favorite couples, who you feeling, who's a vibe, who you not feeling, because I'm just happy that Troy's home and he's gone. Okay, so now we can move on and find some real love. Peace.